Good morning, soldiers. This is Sergeant Merrill, and today we're going to be talking about the first assault rifle that you unlock in multiplayer, the MTAR. Now, the MTAR is a subset of the TAR-21, or simply Tavor. It's an Israeli bullpup assault rifle chambered for 5.56, which is the NATO standard for most assault rifles. Now, you may be wondering, what's the difference between the MTAR and the TAR? Some people may remember the TAR from Modern Warfare 2, and the biggest difference between the two is the MTAR actually stands for Micro Tavor, meaning that the barrel size is about 5 inches shorter, which actually puts this bullpup weapon in the carbine category. Now, a lot of people have questions when it comes to the carbine category. What's the purpose of a carbine? What's the purpose of just cutting the barrel off of an assault rifle and making it shorter? Obviously, it makes it much more effective in close quarter scenarios because you can maneuver it a lot better, but there are certainly better SMGs that perform better in that situation. And the reason that a lot of militaries prefer carbines is because you can standardize your ammo. Both weapons, both the MTAR and the TAR, carry 5.56 ammo, and a lot of SMGs have specific cartridges that they use. So instead of carrying two different types of ammo, a military only has to carry one. Now, what's interesting when you have a bullpup style carbine, well, now you have a weapon that feels even shorter. Now you have a weapon that has a little bit longer of a range than an SMG, but it feels like an SMG because the barrel is further back into the weapon. If you don't know what a bullpup weapon is, that's where the firing action and the chamber and the magazine well are located behind the trigger, actually going into the buttstock, whereas conventional weapons, it's all forward, and the buttstock is all kind of extra space. Now, the trade-off is that you get a customizable buttstock with a conventional weapon. In most cases, it's adjustable, and I think traditional weapons are a lot more ergonomic. They're also a lot more ambidextrous, but still, you have a lot of benefits when it comes to a weapon like this. And it's also really interesting to see how these different developers take on the whole bullpup configuration. And a lot of developers, including this one, have resulted the bullpup configuration in better hipfire, which is true. This weapon actually shares some of the best hipfire in the assault rifle class. Now, they skipped over that idea when it came to the SMR, but hey, you got to keep balance in mind. And also, it translates into slower reload time, which I don't necessarily agree with. When you have somebody who's only used conventional weapons their entire life use a bullpup weapon, I think the reload time for them is going to be greater because it's a completely different style of reloading. But if you get somebody from an Austrian army or somebody from the Israeli army, I'm sure that they could reload a bullpup weapon just as fast as someone experienced with a conventional weapon could reload it. But that's what developers have traded off. It's a trade-off. You get better hip fire, but you get slower reload time. Now, another interesting thing that is specific to the Micro Tavor is that it has a conversion kit to where you can turn it from being chambered in 5.56 to being chambered in 9mm. And for those who don't know, 9mm ammo is pretty damn cheap. It's usually used for most pistol rounds. So why did the Israeli developers have that in mind? Why did they do that when they made this weapon? I think it's because they really had cost in mind when they were making this weapon, and that makes it extremely appealing to military and police organizations. But none of that really translates into the game. I mean, I think if you had to buy ammo in the game, this weapon would certainly be a lot more appealing to a lot more people. But that's not the case. So let's talk about some of the stats in the game. This weapon does 40 damage up close, but does 24 damage at a distance. So that means it's a 3-bullet kill up close, a 5-bullet kill when you're far away, but there is a mid-range somewhere in between to which you can get a 4-bullet kill. Now, I'm not sure what the specific damage is for that, but there is a mid-range 4-bullet kill option with this weapon. Like I said, it has one of the slowest reload time in the assault rifle class. In fact, the only weapon that's slower than this as far as reloading is the SMR, which is also a bullpup weapon, so go figure that's one of the drawbacks they had for this configuration. But it also has pretty significantly good hipfire for the assault rifle class, so that's something to consider as well when you're choosing this weapon. And they stay pretty true to what the carbine weapon is supposed to be, which is a close to mid-range weapon. Now, in close range, you're going to be beat out by a lot of SMGs simply because of sheer fire rate. This has a 720 round per minute fire rate, but obviously that doesn't even come close to the Scorpion with its massive 1200 and up. So when it comes to the spray and pray, you're probably going to lose, but this does have a lot more reach than other SMGs do. Now, it's pretty bouncy. The recoil on this can be hard to control if you're going for those long range shots. So if you're going to go for a long range shot, It's number one, you need to consider that's going to be a 5-bullet kill, so you need to consider if they're actually going to be holding still long enough for you to kill them, and you also need to burst because this will jump around quite a bit. It is more of a mid-range, very versatile weapon if you ask me, and that's what's really good about it. It doesn't really shine in one area or another, it's just versatile. The hipfire helps you in these close range engagements, and it has a lot more reach than your SMGs, making it what I believe one of the most versatile weapons in the game. So let me know what you think of the MTAR. Is it something that you use on a regular basis? I'm sure any one of you have used it at least once because it is the first weapon in the assault rifle class. So let me know what you think of it. And if you are one of the people that use it on a regular basis, I hope this video helped you learn something new about it. But that's all I have. This is Sergeant Merrill, out here.